Maybe a little less chalk next time. I'm not saying no chalk, just like maybe less.
Oh. I hope everyone is having a fantastic start to the new year, and I thought what better way to celebrate being back together than making cookies. And we're not just making any cookies. No, I mean, don't get me wrong, I'm good with a classic. But we are making cookie recipes that celebrities have created or altered in some way, and ones that I felt like were unique enough from the traditional ones that I typically make on a regular basis. If you're new here, hi, I'm Rachel and I'm a cookie monster. Do I make cookies every night? Yes, I do. I still do. It's been like, I don't even want to say how many years. I can't help it. I love a good homemade, freshly baked cookie so much. And so I thought this would be a really fun way to kind of start off the year. Kick it off with a baked good. So if you're new here, welcome. Introduce yourself in the comments down below and make sure you subscribe. New videos here every single Saturday. And let us dive into the 3 recipes that I have chosen today. And I feel like the best way to do that is to make them all, and then we're gonna bake them all at the same time, and then we can taste test them. Obviously with Chris. Chris is obviously gonna taste test them with me. That's kind of what he does now. So let's start with The Rock, because I just watched Red Notice. So let's start by getting Francesca. Franny girl, where are you? Feels good to bring her. I feel like she hasn't been in a video recently. I'm embarrassed for myself. So Dwayne Johnson. His recipe I want to try because it has 2 things that I thought were a little bit different from the classic. One, he used rolled oats that he ground down to a fine powder. Thought that was unique. And 2, in addition to a chocolate chip, he also added in shaved chocolate. So I thought that would be kind of interesting. I'm curious how that changes how chocolatey the cookie is, which I assume it's only gonna be a good thing. Do I need to be adding that to all my recipes? Let's find out. So I got all my recipe ingredients all prepared for the most part, just the big stuff anyway. Even printed off the recipe because I'm old school. Also attempting to not get my phone extremely dirty. Oh, and Christopher came home with an ingredient I was missing. Hi, Chris.
Are the cookies ready?
No, they're not ready yet. I'm just starting on the first one. Don't rush me, this is a process. So we're gonna start the way I would normally make cookies, and that is starting with the sugars and the butter. For The Rock, he has a rock of butter. 1 whole cup, that's a lot of butter. Yeah, then a cup of white granulated sugar, as well as 1 cup of brown sugar. And now we're just going to cream that together. All right, that's looking good. Now we're gonna add in 2 eggs and a teaspoon of vanilla. Let's just open that up. 1, 2, and a teaspoon of vanilla for you. That rhymes. Get this mixed up, and then we're gonna go on to the dry ingredients. Again, this is all super classic cookie recipe. You know what? Bet I could fit it just in this. I don't need another bowl for it. Although I do need to blend up the oats. Oh no, too many oats. Don't mind me, just pulverizing some oats. That looks like flour. Again. Okay, oats, pulverized. And by the way, that is 2 cups of flour and 2.5 cups of oats. And then we pulverize the oats, obviously. Now all we need is a 1/2 teaspoon of salt. I'm trying to measure this with my left hand, that's going poorly. Whoa. And then a full teaspoon of baking powder. 1/2 whole. Now we give it a little mix. Look, Christopher, look how I didn't overfill the bowl. Not at all.
The right size bowl.
I used the right size bowl. Now we're going to very, very gently incorporate all the flour ingredients. Don't overmix. Okay, mostly incorporated, but now we need to go into the chocolate, which, if you're wondering why I'm in my freezer, I froze. This right here, 4 ounces of chocolate, and this is gonna be a lot easier to grate because it was frozen. Now it doesn't say how finely to grate it, but I'm gonna choose this one. Now we're gonna have a great time. Oh, I already hate this. Okay, let's just jump ahead to when I'm done this. This better be worth it, Dwayne. Oh my gosh, I never want to do that again. Also, I switched it up to the larger grate because I realized that I was just creating a fine dusting of chocolate. So in goes the grated chocolate. And then they call for 1.5 cups of chocolate chips. Now, chocolate chips, I feel, should be measured from the heart, not from a cup. But I want to stay as true to the recipe as I can, so we'll assess, we'll see if that's going to be chocolatey enough. Because already I can't put in the walnuts that it also calls for. Oh, this just feels wrong. There we go, 1.5 cups. Now we stir. Mixing and mixing and mixing. This dough is very difficult to mix. And then also worth noting for each of these, I'm also going to set them in the fridge to kind of chill for probably close to an hour. Because I feel like all cookies can benefit from some fridge time. It just makes a better cookie. All right, I'm going to form this into a ball and then we're gonna go on to the next recipe. And this recipe I have been meaning to try for a while now, and that is Taylor Swift's sugar cookies. Now, are these technically more of like a Christmassy cookie? Yeah, but we all have leftover eggnog from that, one time that you had a cup and you're like, I'm done now. Or is that just how we do it in my house? Because these are sugar cookies that have sort of like an eggnog frosting, I guess, kind of, or a glaze to them, which I thought was really unique and interesting. And also this cookie recipe is based off I think a fairly famous one is my understanding. And it has both butter and vegetable oil and also powdered sugar, which I think is interesting. So let's start with the butter. Only half a cup for T Swift. And we're gonna start by beating this for a minute. I like that I washed this and then promptly left it under all the other dishes that I just washed. Okay, creaming butter. Gotta get all the butter from the bottom here. It's like not touching the butter at all. This is annoying. Am I gonna need to do like a hand mixer? Francesca, why? Singing Mr. Perfectly Fine. None of us are fine after Taylor's version of any of her songs. Okay, that felt wrong. At least that looks more like whipped, I'm sure there's like a hack that I'm missing where I can like lift it. I don't know what that is. Now to this we are adding half a cup of vegetable oil, half a cup of granulated and powdered sugar, half cup each. Un egg. Sorry. Oof.
Why do you only need one egg?
I don't know.
Because one egg is enough.
And then 2 teaspoons of vanilla, double what the Rock did, for anyone that's keeping track. And then we want to beat this all up until it's incorporated. Oh, weird. That is like a cool soupy thing. I gotta scrape down the side. I was curious how it was gonna come together with all of the vegetable oil in here, but I mean, it's working. All right, that looks incorporated. And this is where Taylor Swift put in her own like little spice, And she adds a chai tea packet into this. So it's chai tea sugar cookies. I think that's really cool. So Chris had to go out to the store because we didn't have any. We have every other kind of tea, but not chai. Though I do love a good chai tea. Like a chai tea latte. Oh, and you may be asking, how does this go in here? Like that, full on, everything in. And then we're just incorporating in the flour, baking soda this time, and salt. And I know it's wrong, but part of me really wants to put chocolate chips in here. I won't, but I really want to. Just want you all to know that's where my brain's at. All right, there we go. This is a very different dough, obviously, than the Rock. This one is a lot softer. That one I felt like was like really hard for a dough. This one feels like a lot more malleable, Look at that. Very different. And again, I'm gonna roll this up and then stick it in the fridge. And this next recipe I want to try is by Joanna Gaines, who is known for owning the store Magnolia. She also does a show on HGTV, and she also has a cookbook, which I own. And you can see all the different spots where we have tried recipes or have bookmark recipes to try in future. But I have not tried her cookies, and I thought that this would be a really interesting one to try because it uses no white sugar at all, only brown sugar. And I don't believe I have tried a recipe using only brown sugar, so I was curious. Plus they're chocolate chip cookies, nothing wrong with that. So we're gonna start as we had done with the previous recipes. Butter and sugar. Butter and sugar, blend it together till it gets nice and fluffy. And she says to blend this for like 2 to 3 minutes until it's really nice and whipped and light and fluffy. So that's what I'm gonna do. All right, light and fluffy. Now we add in 2 eggs, then blend again. Uno, deux. It's the only languages I know how to count in, other than English. Do I know German? Is it das, drei? Nope. escaped me. All right, blend. All right, scrapey, scrapey. And now we're gonna add in the vanilla and then blend. Not eggs and vanilla, then blend. Needed to be separate. I don't know why, don't know the science. I'm gonna go follow it. And she wants 1.5 teaspoons of vanilla. Okay, now we're gonna add in the flour, baking soda, and salt as per usual. And for this, she said to put it all in, put it on a medium speed, and then once it's together, put it on high speed for a couple of seconds to bring the dough together, which I have never seen anyone do once flour is incorporated into a cookie recipe. This makes me nervous. I don't like it. Okay, I'm gonna start just like a stir. I'm just going to scrape down the sides, and the flour's all mixed in. So now I'm gonna put it on high speed, Need for Speed, but baking edition. Oh, I love Need for Speed. I was always the yellow McLaren F1. Okay, this feels wrong. All right, it's supposed to be chunky, she said. Didn't like it, but here we are. Oh, we gotta keep this on. I was about to take it off, but apparently we're gonna need it again once we add in the chocolate chips. Supposed to put in the chocolate chips and then again beat on high till all the chips are combined. Who are you, Joanna Gaines? Again, just like The Rock, we are doing 1.5 cups. Add chocolate chips and beat on high for 5 seconds to thoroughly and quickly mix in the chips. Lock and load it. It was 5 in my head. I think I lost a chip though. Ooh. 5-second roll. Delicious. I mean, it did incorporate it. All right, this looks like a classic cookie dough, like texture, look, feel, everything about this. It looks pretty. Look at this dough. That's a pretty cookie dough. This is like Pinterest-worthy cookie dough. And again, into the fridge, and then we're gonna pop them in the oven. We're gonna taste test them. And also worth noting, just oven, I think the Dwayne Johnson one cooks at a really high temperature for longer than I've ever seen cookies cook for. It was like 20 minutes or something insane. Yeah, 375 for 20 minutes. 20 minutes. What? And the other two cook at 350 for the typical amount of time. I think, what, 10 minutes or something. So we will do that, and then it's taste test time. Okay, cookies are baked, and I have to ice one. But first I kind of want to show you what the cookies look like. So starting with Dwayne Johnson. So there was not a lot of spread with his, which I would think is due to the fact that there's the oats in there. It kind of like bulked it up. It made it a much denser, thicker cookie, but again, not that traditional soft kind of crispy looking cookie, you know what I mean? Looks a little bit like a puck. And then going into Taylor Swift's, the cookie looks absolutely beautiful for a sugar cookie. There was no browning around the edges. Everything cooked really evenly, smoothly. There was no like, is it overdone? Is it not overdone? Is it gooey in the middle? Like it just like, that was the perfect amount of time, at least for my oven, which we baked it was 350 for I think 10 minutes. And then getting into Joanna's. So I baked them and I was like, okay, they're not quite done yet. And then I got distracted by a toddler. Then I went back and I was like, oh no, I burned them. This is the worst. I made a new one. But like looking at them now, they actually look really nice, just a little bit more golden than expected for me. But that nice crispy edge, they still look nice and doughy in the middle. And I love all the nooks and crannies, and that just looks really appealing to me. But I did make a second one, though I will say I watched it like a hawk, and it still kind of looks gooey in the center, but the edges are really crispy, so I don't know. So before I grab Chris to taste test, let's put the icing on, because I think another cool thing about this particular cookie is that Taylor Swift used like an eggnog type frosting. More like a glaze, like a traditional sugar cookie glaze. Now I will say for this, for the original, it only called for a tablespoon of eggnog, and that was not enough, not even a little bit. Even as it is, I added more, and it's still like, it's like a really like thick consistency. I don't know, it's not as like gooey and sort of drizzly as I thought it was gonna be. But it has cinnamon, nutmeg, eggnog, like it smells really nice. So I'm just gonna put some on my sugar cookie. I don't normally ice them this way, but let's go for it. Oh my gosh, it's such a thick, such a thick icing. It really is more like icing than a glaze. Christopher, do you wanna come and taste test? cookies are ready. Ooh, look at all the cookies.
Smells good.
Okay, so we have 3. We're gonna start in the order in which I made them.
All right.
For no purpose other than I said it. So this is The Rock, both in what it looks like and also who created it. Okay, I wanna see if it's like, okay, that's pretty, it's a really cakey cookie.
I assume it's like healthier in some way because weightlift.
I mean, there's oats, but like, there's also shaved chocolate. I forgot about that. There doesn't look like there's any shaved chocolate in here. Where's the shaved chocolate, Dwayne? They look, you know what they look like? They look like one of those like breakfast cookies, you know, you have for breakfast that are kind of healthy, but they're still cookies. Have you ever seen those?
No.
Am I making that up? Is that a Pinterest thing? Anyway.
I smell what you're cooking, Dwayne. If you smell what The Rock is cooking.
I'll get it.
It's his tagline thing, one of his wrestling lines. Anyway, cheers.
Boink. That is so oat forward.
That is oaty.
It's definitely not rock hard in the middle,
No.
which I was a little bit scared about.
I actually like it.
I don't think I like it very much.
I might underbake them a little, but no, I do like them. They're good.
They're not sweet
No.
at all. The chocolate is sweet.
Yeah, chocolate's.
Cookies not sweet.
No.
Also interesting, he used baking powder, not baking soda. It's just like the batter like really comes together, you know?
There's a lot of rise to them, also, too. So.
And don't get me wrong, I love a good oatmeal chocolate chip cookie.
Yeah.
It's too much oat.
I think I like this kind of oatmeal chocolate chip cookie more than the like big chunks of oat.
Really?
Yeah.
I disagree. You know what? I was gonna say I disagree because I like the chunks of oat and coconut because I like a coconut oat. But like maybe this would be better if it had coconut in it.
It's possible.
That's my take on it. It's not my favorite, but it is a cookie.
That is a hearty, mealy cookie. And I think if you're in the mood for that, or if that's your jam, that's a pretty good cookie.
And you know what? I mean, if anyone is gonna have that cookie, it's gotta be Dwayne.
Yeah, he wouldn't do like a sugar cookie or ginger snap.
It's too dainty.
No.
All
this
right.
is a cookie worthy of The Rock.
Yeah, I will give him that. That really speaks to his, I don't know, brand that he's created.
Yeah.
Okay, next one. T-Swift.
Your hands are just like covered in chocolate.
Every
and your
time.
lip. You only had half of one cookie. What happened?
Okay, is that better? Wash my hands.
Yeah, you're good now.
Oh my god, okay.
Now, are these their favorite cookies or their developed recipes?
Dwayne is from his he has a cookbook that he created like eons ago that had this in it.
Okay.
T-Swift, this is an adaptation from a famous one.
Okay.
And Joanna Gaines, but we'll get into that later.
Oh, well, that'd be hers then.
But yeah, exactly. So this is T-Swift. She made a sugar cookie and she like adapted one and it has chai tea.
I was going to say, this is the one with the chai?
Yeah, and the eggnog icing. So I'm kind of excited about this because it's a beautiful looking cookie. Like it really does look nice.
I'm intrigued by the idea of a warm spiced sugar cookie. I think that could work.
I think it's gonna be really good. I'm really excited about it. First, we gotta break it, obviously. Oh, it's so soft. That looks really nice. I like the little speckles in it.
Yeah.
It's a fun touch.
It makes me think vanilla bean.
Yeah.
I mean,
Yep. I don't. I'm gonna go with this one. Okay. Ready? Cheers. Not buttery enough.
maybe a little less chalk next time in the mix.
Don't say that about Taylor Swift.
I'm not saying no chalk, just like maybe less. Maybe like a pound less.
No. I
Just
like
disintegrated into powder into my mouth.
it's real chalky, which is surprising because it was quite doughy. And we like underbaked, like you see how pretty it is. Like it really, I thought we baked it quite nicely.
This icing is delicious.
Yeah, that's what I was going for next. I wanted to taste it by itself. That is a very fall icing to me.
Nutmeg?
Yeah. Nutmeg, cinnamon, you know.
Super good.
Yeah. Eggnog.
Mmm.
Of course, eggnog.
Nice.
Yeah.
I like that a lot. That should go on like a nice coffee cake or something like that.
Yeah, that would be
Yeah.
good. But like, yeah, it's quite crumbly.
Yeah.
I think it needs some adjustments. A little bit of adjustment. I would add butter. more of it.
Yeah.
Lots more of it. I'm sorry, Taylor Swift. Love your versions of songs, maybe not your versions of cookies. Okay, Joanna. So remember how I put these in and I was like, yeah, I'll watch them totally. And then it came out like this, which honestly, it's not terrible. But I was a little scared that this is like a little bit too burnt. So I made another one and it looks very similar, but it has sort of the goo in the middle.
That's much lighter. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So I figured we could try both and just see. Maybe I didn't.
So I'll try this one and you can try that.
No, I'm gonna try both. I want to see if it's gooey in the middle. So it's heavy.
That's a lot of cookie.
It's a lot of cookie, but like, I mean, go big or go home. It's a cookie. So let's see. Oh no. Okay, not terrible, but like, I think too cooked.
It's an overcooked cookie.
That's an
Yep.
overcooked cookie. Okay, hold on. Now we gotta go into this one. Did I overcook it?
No, it's good.
Okay, that one looks better.
Yeah.
All right. Well, fine. We'll just do this one then. Okay, ready?
Cheers.
Boop. Good flavor. Very sweet.
That's a very nice, like, right down the middle, good quality chocolate chip cookie.
But very sweet. I don't know why.
I have a lot of chocolate chips per square inch in mine.
I'm trying to figure out what it is about the cookie. So this one is interesting because it is quite crusted, but the inside is gooey, which is interesting, and it kind of creates like the best of all worlds. You don't not have chocolate on your face.
It's your channel I'm trying to fit in.
Christopher.
Thanks.
It's good. I feel like your mom's recipe is better.
Yeah.
Just,
Mom's recipes are always better.
I mean, technically she's a mom, but she's not your mom, so like.
Sorry, Joanna's kids. My mom rules.
And this only has brown sugar, so I wanted to see how that was different, and apparently it just makes it really, really sweet tasting. Just for curiosity, I'm gonna taste the overcooked one, just because. Honestly, I'm not mad at it. It's a little bit more solidified, and for whatever reason, that cuts the sugar. I don't know. I would have to finesse with like the amount of time and maybe the temperature too for my oven for that one to work. Cutting in here for seconds. I think I figured out the issue with the Joanna Gaines recipe. I needed to cook them at 325 instead of 350, and then they don't get that like crustiness on top as much. Also, a little flaky salt didn't hurt anyone. Anyway, continue. This is very interesting. All in all, I feel like we have a superior cookie.
I think that having found that frosting
Was a win.
that's worth all of this, even if we didn't get a good cookie recipe out of it.
Yeah, because that would 100% go on anything.
Anything.
Any
Like
sort of
a
baked good.
Lemon poppy seed cake.
With nutmeg though?
Yeah, maybe not.
But the coffee cake. I mean, that was like straight up
Yes, a carrot cake.
a win. Yes.
Yeah. Maybe with a little like a cream cheese frosting with those spices.
Oh, putting this. Oh, yeah. That's what I was going with next. I was like trying to figure out how to incorporate that. But yeah, if you threw that into cream
Like
cheese.
cream cheese, eggnog, nutmeg, and cinnamon frosting.
Absolutely. Yeah, there's no question. That would be absolutely a win. But I'm glad that we taste tested things. I mean, what a great way to start 2022. Am I right?
That's right. Happy New Year.
You gotta start with some cookies. Thank you very much for taste testing with me.
Always a pleasure.
It was delicious. So since we're starting a new year, I mean, let me know, what type of videos do you like to enjoy? If you're new here, check out these videos on the side so you can see like some more baking extravagances. We did a lot in December. But if there are any video series or anything in particular that you really enjoy watching, let me know down below. I'm very curious because I'm starting my planning for 2022 videos, and I love to hear what you guys like. So leave me a comment down below. Thank you so much for watching. Make sure you subscribe if you haven't already, and I will see you all on Saturday. Love you all. Mwah.